Three, two, one.
Welcome to my latest experiment. This is the big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
What is it?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Oh my God. The cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
And there is no one that does it better.
The Guy and Harley podcast, streaming all over your face.
Perhaps that was the most important part.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Pigville on the internet.
Because everybody's on drugs. It's hard to believe the American dream is a killing machine. We're all falling in love with a new disease. And if it's killing you, then it's murdering me. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast. I'm Harley Neville.
I'm Guy Pigton.
And, Pig what? Pigton, okay.
Pigton. I'm Guy Pigton. That's my name, Pigton. I'm having some serious trouble speaking because I've got this weird echo in my headphones because we're recording this in a different format this week. So it's kind of echoing back at me and making me call myself Pigton.
Right. I'm not using headphones. Maybe you don't need them.
Well, I do because my girlfriend's just across from me and she's going to hear me talk about the masturbating I've been doing and I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, right. Yeah, and if you put headphones on, then she can't hear you.
And she can't hear me talking about all the masturbating.
Yeah.
Because
you're wearing headphones.
Exactly, because I'm wearing headphones.
Right.
So that's how it works. So it's just the same as if you rip a big fart. As long as you've got headphones on, no one can hear you. You're safe. I've done that many times at the gym. And trust me, it works. So. Because people just look at you and it's like they know something's happened, but they don't know what. So that's. But really, you've just ripped a massive fart, and no one's the wiser because you got your headphones on.
Yeah, it's like that's how it works. It's like whenever I'm around deaf people, I just do lots of farts because I know that deaf people can't smell.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, did you think that the intro sounded like a little weird today or something?
Nah, it sounded pretty much the same as always.
It's just the normal recording, right? It was just the normal. We just played it in there. It's just part of the edit, yeah?
I mean, I think what might be throwing you off is because we're recording this over Skype because you're in LA and I'm in New Zealand, and that may have thrown you off and it may have sounded somewhat different due to what I'm talking about, the echoes and the reverbs and the poor audio. We do apologize to our listeners that I'm using the internal laptop audio recorder at the moment because unfortunately I could not get a microphone to work.
Well, actually, you gave me the microphone you have.
I gave you the one Cheris microphone. You asked me if I had my other microphone. Unfortunately, that microphone may have been thrown out. That's the DJ Rapstar Battle microphone from my Xbox 360.
That has served us very well.
That microphone, I may have thrown it out as we moved out of our last flat thinking that I would never do another DJ Rapstar battle in my life, and maybe I just throw it away because I was never going to be battle rapping on DJ Rapstar on the Xbox 360, RIP. But it's also possible it's just in a box of the many hundred that I'm not quite sure about at the moment. Couldn't find it. Yeah. Went hunting, couldn't find it.
Yeah, well, you have moved house twice, so that's it's probably in a box. Yeah. Now, I am in LA. This is live from Hollywood, living the dream. And I've got to tell you, LA is just, I mean, I've been here before, but it's just like the movies. It's insane. It's just like the movies. Last night, I had the Carousel Cocktail Party, which is an official event of the of the American film market, and you only get to go one night unless you're an executive, and then you get to go heaps of times. But obviously, I was only going one night, and yeah, it was a cocktail party, and I wanted to, not drink too much, obviously, because the point of going is to network and to not be a fucking unit when you're chatting to people. But I tell you what, man, there was so much free booze there. It wasn't just free booze either. It was like free, just any alcohol you wanted. You just walk up, you're just like, yeah, I'll have like the Johnny Walker Black with, soda or, whatever the fuck you want. And if, if you drink half of it and you don't like it, just go and ask for another one. There wasn't even lines because they had so many people serving alcohol that you just wander up and just get one whenever you want. Just order anything you want. Cocktails, all sorts. And one of the sponsors or whatever was putting on cocktails with a spirit, and the spirit is 53%. Was a Chinese cocktail, Chinese spirit. Tastes like shit. It tastes like absolute shit. But then they came up to me with a camera afterwards and go, hey, can we get like a reaction of you having your first mouthful? And I was like, oh, all right. But it was fucking terrible. So I just had to concentrate on how strong it tasted or something like that. I talked some shit, but I made it sound positive.
So you walk into this event.
Yeah.
What does this venue look like? What are we talking about here?
A carousel of like horses, a merry-go-round. It's called merry-go-round. Mm-hmm. It's a big merry-go-round on Santa Monica Pier, and you go in there, and it's not actually a bar. They just set it up as a bar for the night, and they all you're literally at a big old merry-go-round. You get free rides. They've got free ice cream and all that stuff. I stayed away from all that. I just stuck to the alcohol, and free food. Obviously, I ate all the free food. Yeah, so and basically you just walk around. Everyone's wearing accreditation, so you can kind of tell who does what. So you can loiter around the executives and so on. And yeah, you just walk around chatting to people. I basically just kept on doing laps, just chatting to people, giving away cards. I gave away all my cards. I've got fuckloads of. I got a tree worth of cards here. And yeah, just chatting with other filmmakers and all that stuff. And then, so that was good fun. And who the fuck do I bump into? But New Zealand filmmakers. I've forgotten the name of his movie, but a guy, Christopher Peters, and who you know as well, Guy.
Oh yeah, old mate.
And it's like, what are the chances that I'm on the other side of the world and I'm hanging out with like Kiwis from Auckland? But so I bumped into them. I talked to them for a bit, and then we were leaving to go for a beer somewhere afterwards, and this other guy randomly joined the group. Vinny, his name is. Shout out Vinny. He's not listening. But anyway, we got to chatting, and I just thought he was just some guy, some movie maker, whatever. And it turns out he's a local, and he knows all the tricks. He knows all the tricks, and so he took me out, and he showed me how LA really works. He showed me how the film biz really works. He was like, man, forget about all these meetings you've got, man. Like, like go to them, but these people are strangers. They don't really care about you. Where the real meetings are people who have a personal connection with you. And he showed me, and it was crazy. It worked. He started chatting to Falvoy, Draco from Harry Potter, because we went to this bar and there he was. And so he goes up and starts talking to him and acts like he doesn't know who he is. And she's just talking. He's just got the gift of the gab. And they exchange. He goes, oh yeah, shoot me a text, man. And they like exchange phone numbers right there. And I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, fuck, that's how you do it. And so they're just chatting away. It gets his number, and it says like, come to my screening tomorrow, because today his film was screening. Falvoy didn't show up, sadly, because I went along to the screening as well. But anyway, he was texting him, and apparently they're going out tonight. So tonight, after randomly approaching him in a bar last night, he is going out with Draco tonight.
What did you call him?
Draco.
Draco who?
Falvoy or something. Falvoy. Well, I don't watch the shit, man. I was like, what's this guy?
Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Lucius Malfoy's son.
Yeah. Draco Lucius Malfoy. That's what I said. Falvey.
Falvey. I'm sure he'd love it if he doesn't care, but I'm sure he'd love it if he actually knew his real name, not his Harry Potter name.
Well, I think his name's Tom.
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, Tom. obviously I wasn't like, what's your last name, Tom? I was just like, oh yeah, whatever, Tom. Cool, whatever, cool.
You're like,
cool,
bro.
I'm Harley. Harley. That's how I've got to say my name over here. Or they go, I go, hey, I'm Harley. And they go, Harley? Like Harley Berry? So every time I talk to them now, I'm just like, yeah, I'm Harley.
Yeah, fucking idiots.
And so yeah, last night as well, we're just sitting outside because this other guy smokes. Well, I mean, I might have smoked something too, but we were sitting outside having a smoke, and these porn stars came past. We start chatting to these porn stars for a while, and first this super sort of manicured, preppy, or not pre, like rich as fuck looking guy came past to ask for a cigarette, right? He was walking past with like some women, and they go, "Hey, can I have a?" He goes, "Hey, can I get a cigarette?" And the other guy, he's like, "No," he goes, "I'll buy it off you for $1, or I'll give you a card and a handshake." And this guy was like, "I'll go for the card and the handshake, thanks, mate." So they had card and a handshake, and they had a chat and that type of thing, and they're like organizing right then. He's like, "Cool, man. So I'll be in touch with you about like a thing that I'm doing on Sunday." And so he was like, "Yeah, the trick. That's one of the tricks, man. Invite them to something cool, something expensive and cool that's happening. And if nothing cool and expensive is happening, like spend some money on them, and then you get them along, and they come along, and you develop those personal relationships."
Yeah.
So I was just watching and learning, man. I was like, "Fucking hell!" And so anyway, these porn stars came along, and we chatted for a while about. I should have asked her name. I'm such a fool. Who meets a porn star and then doesn't look up their work? What an idiot!
I know.
What a fucking idiot! So anyway, that's a wasted opportunity. Missed opportunity. So I didn't catch her name, unfortunately, but we talked to them for quite a while, and after a while they were talking about like the southern. I can't remember why, but the southern states came up, and they talked about like black women in the southern states, and then all of a sudden the entire conversation, like this other guy that I was hanging out with is white, I'm white, these guys were white, and all of a sudden the whole conversation turned ridiculously racist right in front of me. I was just sitting there. I was like, holy shit, is this how close to the surface racism is at any point in America? Because they were talking about these southern states, and there's women from the southern states, and then they go oh yeah, look, I like them down there. They're they know their place down there. And the another guy goes, yeah, they got lots of attitude up here in LA. Yeah, and then the other guy goes, yeah, man, I love nigger bitches. I was just sitting there. I was like, what? What? I couldn't fucking believe it. Highly inappropriate.
Yeah.
But they didn't care. Once they saw that I was white, and once one of them said something that was racist and nobody jumped up and said, hey, that's wrong, which theoretically was my job, right? I mean, I should have jumped up and said, hey, guys, that's not on, all right? The N-word is not for us. We don't say that.
Yeah.
But I didn't jump up and say that.
No.
I kept quiet, and there's a saying, and I don't know exactly what it is, but the gist of it is, evil is created by the lack of action from good men, from good people. That's the gist of it. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I did nothing. Yeah, evil. And that's evil. That's where the evil comes in. But, I mean, to be fair, I mean, if they had been like picking on a black person, I might have jumped in and said, hey, God, what's going on here? But they weren't. There was nobody there.
So if they're casually racist amongst themselves, that's fine.
Well, yeah, basically.
But if they're being hurtful and racist to someone explicitly, that's when the hero gene's gonna kick in.
Yeah. Well, probably, hopefully. But yeah, so I was kind of a little bit surprised about that. And then they moved on, and I went into this. I went inside to this bar, and I started chatting to this lady at the bar while I was waiting for my drink. And then her husband came back and was like not particularly friendly or anything like that. And I was just moving on anyway, so it wasn't really a big deal. But then it was mentioned that I'm from New Zealand, and he goes, I do a lot of business in New Zealand, and I was like, oh yeah, what kind of business? He was like, oh, like Ministry of something, like some sort of government bullshit, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, and he was like, oh yeah, you guys have got the Maoris down there, the Maoris, and I was like, yeah, we got them, lots of Maoris down there, and he was like, oh man, every time you want to have a meeting, you got to go through half an hour of bullshit, all these prayers and all this ceremony is all bullshit we got to go through. We're doing a business deal here. We're sitting around for half an hour. And I was like, yeah, there's a bit of that. It's quite important though. And he was like, oh yeah, they take it super serious. Serious.
I mean, to be fair, like, you know, obviously we should all be very respectful of traditions and culture, but in the business realm, perhaps they don't.
Might be onto something. They might be onto something there. I mean, you know,
let's just hurry up and get on with it.
Sometimes you got to get on with business, man.
Like we get it. You're welcome. I'm welcome. We're all welcome. Let's remove this preamble because we're all in a hurry.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know.
Yeah. Well,
don't quote me on that.
Yeah. So yeah, and then the other day, I went into so I didn't realize that weed is actually legal here now. I thought that they had been medicinal legal for ages, but I didn't realize like it's actually legal here. Like walk into the shop, buy it. There's a deli at the end of my street, and in the deli they sell soda infused with weed. Just like it doesn't even. I mean, it says it's got weed in it, but it's not like warning or like R18 or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, here's a soda with some weed in it. Go for it, you know. And so I walked into this shop called MedMen, which is exclusively like a weed retailer. And my God, they had everything. They had like lollies and drinks and chocolates and little pills and a million different types of weed, which you could pick it up in these little containers and smell it. It was just, yeah, I was like a kid in a candy shop, really.
I can see that. So did you try the weed soda?
Yeah, so I did try the weed soda, but it's super weak, and my tolerance is so high that
because you smoke so much weed,
I can't even feel it.
That
doesn't do a thing. Yeah. So
you have to be so high to even know that you're high anymore.
Exactly. I have to get high just to feel normal now. I'm actually drinking a weed tea as we speak. And I put in it a stick of weed honey, sweeten it up.
Wash it down with a stick of weed honey.
Yeah, So let's see how this podcast starts going towards the end of it. So yeah, it's pretty crazy though. Like, I mean, it's so consumable. It's everywhere, and it's so consumable. And you go, you see somebody walking down the street with a drink and a soda. It's like that person's getting high. Or like you see a person sitting at a cafe drinking a cup of tea. That motherfucker's that nano. She's getting high. And like they've got these little pills. You can just have a pill. You don't even have to smoke it anymore. You have like a mint, literally a mint. You have a mint, and it's got weed in it.
Cool.
It is pretty cool, but it's pretty. Fucking accessible and consumable. Like these guys must have it every day. I mean, everybody here is a drug addict too, I think.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me. It is interesting that they're talking about, networking. I mean, that's the problem is that, like, how in the film industry, how are, these relationships really, yes, it does seem like it's all just catching up and hanging out, and then one day you make something together. It has nothing to do with the official channels. Mm-hmm. When we were starting out, it always seemed like the official channels. You go through the official channels. Now it's like the official channels are pointless. It's the unofficial channels that we all have to sort of, work within. So, yeah, that's cool that you're getting some tips. Unfortunately, you can't invite anyone anywhere or spend any money on anything. So that's a bit of a drawback to your pulling power as a man of interest, a person of interest that the at the AFM.
Yeah, well, I have been burning through the money. There's no denying that. Burning on through it. Because everything
quite literally, because you're spending it on fucking weed.
Because I'm spending it. I've spent $5,000 on weed so far.
Because you're just smoking it.
No, I actually haven't smoked very much. I've just tried it the other ways that I can't try it back home. Yeah. For curiosity, and only at night, like after my meetings, guys. It's after my meetings.
And how is Operation Get Laid in LA going?
Well, I'm laying down some good groundwork. Now, just to clarify for the listeners, they do understand that Operation Get Laid in LA is the operational code name for our mission here, which is to sell our second feature film, Older, to get it sold by a sales agent, picked up by a distributor, and so on. So purely, it's an operational code name. It's nothing to do with sex. But in Operation Get Laid in LA, I've been laying some great groundwork. I've been meeting some people. Things are going well. And I look forward to seeing how some of these things develop. Let me tell you that. So, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of potential here for Operation Get Laid in LA. I do feel like I've got a certain Kiwi charm which helps people take interest in our movie, and so yeah, I do feel like and
that Kiwi charm offsets your producing ignorance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that they're kind of like, yeah, that crazy guy from New Zealand. Yeah, he had no fucking idea what he was talking about, but I like him. And as we all know, the business is built on relationships, not talent or skill.
No, well, they're like, oh, that naive motherfucker from New Zealand. We'll take him for everything he's got. And I'm like, hey, I'm from the bottom of the world.
Yeah, I just drank some weed. We can't do that.
So, but yeah, no, it has gone well. I have only had one meeting. Because I've been doing other things like attending the parties and so on.
You've been too busy attending the parties to have any meetings for our films.
But don't worry, guys. It's all under control. It's all good.
Because the parties, there's too many parties.
Yeah, I've had to bump a few meetings so I can go to the parties. No, but I did. I like the first few days here. One of the best things I did was come early so that I don't have to jump straight into meetings, and that's been kind of the great thing, just getting here and acclimatizing. So tomorrow I've got a full day of proper meetings. But yesterday I had one meeting, and they want it. They want the movie. They want Older. It went real easy, man. Like pitching, I realized you don't pitch. You don't go in there and go like, saying all this memorized stuff and dressing up like something you're not or whatever. You just go in and be yourself and tell them about your movie and what you're hoping to achieve with it. But you do so in a succinct way. So you have thought about what you're going to say, you practice what you're going to say, you write it down a little bit. I mean, I took my laptop in anyway to show them the trailer. And so when I was chatting to them, I was on the other side of the table. They couldn't see what was on my laptop. I just had my notes there. And I was just like, literally, I glance over every now and then and go, oh yeah, and this thing and that thing and this other point, and this is how much we could do it for. And, this is what we've done before and so on. So it went really well. And I was really good at it. So I think we're okay.
And they couldn't even see the porn that you were watching at the time, which is
no. Great. Yeah, I had screen.
You just had the laptop there.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Still can't believe I didn't get her name. What an idiot. The porn star.
I know. You could have, just to think about it like this, you, regardless of how well you struck it off with her at the time,
yeah,
you could have seen her naked by that very evening. You could have seen her naked 2 minutes, a minute after you'd finished talking to her. You could have seen her naked. You could have seen her having sex. But you didn't even bother to get her name. But of course, it depends if she would have given you her working name or her shoot name.
Yeah, that's true.
If she introduced herself by her porn name, sweet. If not, then would have struggled a bit more.
Well, I feel like you could still probably track
You
me
run
down.
you could run a Google image picture search of her.
Yeah, well, and then I could be whacking off about this racist porn star.
Yeah, oh, I forgot she was racist. So she was racist too. God
Yeah,
damn
yeah.
it.
All of the porn stars were racist.
Right.
All 4 of them.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that would diminish your buzz only slightly as you as you got over that hump.
Yes. So yeah, all in all, it's been pretty good. But there was a mistake today. I did fuck up today. I missed a meeting because I was there 20 minutes early. No problem. I was like, all right, sweet. And this was with Indie Rights, which is an online distributor that sort of runs a different model than your traditional sales agents and distributors. It's an online. It's like Distributor, which recently went under. And so I missed my meeting with them. I was there 20 minutes early, but I realized I'd left my accreditation. I had my laptop, had everything in my one sheets, all that stuff. I'd left my accreditation at home, and you can't get in at all without it unless they come down and give you a guest pass. So I called them, no answer. I texted them, no answer. And so I was like, all right. And so I went home and got my accreditation. But of course, by the time I got back, I'd missed my meeting. But that's fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go there tomorrow and just go to their store and find them.
Well, that is actually terrible.
Terrible
you have one
really
job to do. We really want to go with them, and you have one job to do, which is to go to their meeting and not fuck anything up. Yeah. And you failed at that.
Yeah. But don't worry, mate. Don't worry. It's all under control. It's all under control.
Yeah, well, I hope you managed to talk your way out of that with your Kiwi ignorance and charm.
Yeah.
Because
I'm just going to Harley nibble this whole trip.
Well, the whole thing, because I've already annoyed her with my emails. You see, I know who you're talking about. I've already annoyed her with my emails because my emails are kind of, she's a super busy person. Whenever you email a super busy person, they hate it. Because whenever someone emails me, I hate it. Because I'm like, fucking in the middle of 10 things and you're asking me all these stupid questions about this or that, ignorant questions, ignorant Kiwi questions, because you're an ignorant Kiwi from across the other side of the world, doesn't know shit about shit. And now I have to waste some of my time answering them. So I know that I already irritated her with my emails. Now this is a double irritation. Now,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Because now she's made time for you in her day.
Yeah,
and you fucked her.
Yeah. Well, they do have a display stand there, so I'm just going to go. I know their suite number. I'm just going to go there and be like, "Hey, what up? It's me. Sorry about that. Can we reschedule?"
Did you send a follow-up email to mention you didn't make you?
You just get an automatic email back saying, "I'm away for AFM. Don't email me."
Right.
Yeah. So, hey, look, who doesn't answer their fucking phone? You wanna buy movies or what? Answer your fucking phone, man.
Did you leave a message?
You're in the business of buying and selling movies. I got a movie.
Did you leave a message on the phone?
No, too scared. Too scared of messages.
Oh boy.
Don't like talking to those. But no, I text her though, so she will have. She knows what happened. She must have known. She must know what happened. If she checked her phone.
Yeah.
Well, I fucking hope she checked her phone. It doesn't say seen. Actually, it's a text, not a thing. Anyway, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a text, not a message.
So that's 01 to Harley's.
No.
FM.
Oh, 01 is in one win, one fail.
No, like 0 wins. Okay, so
we got a win. We got a company that wants to represent our film.
Okay, we're 1-1.
Yeah, we're 1-1. That's a good ratio. No, don't worry. I got this. I'm going to Harley Neville my way through that one. She'll be right. But cool. I've got a lot of meetings tomorrow and the next day. One I got an email after they watched the screener from Shoreline, who is the company that distributed I Survived a Zombie Holocaust. They say it's not for them. They're not interested in older. They said, that's fine if you want to cancel your meeting. And I was like, no, ma'am, I don't want to cancel my meeting. I want to come in there and I'll talk to you about the family instead. Here's a one sheet. Here's No Caller ID, which it's based on, 100,000 views, blah, blah, blah. So I kept the meeting and I'm going to go and see them tomorrow anyway.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, that sounds all very exciting. Meanwhile, on my end, I've been frantically writing this script for the family with Amy the vegan, who, because we've basically said that a script exists that maybe does not exist. Maybe 48 pages. 48 pages of it exists currently. And, so we were really hoping that 90 pages would currently exist.
Because I've been telling people, and our one sheet says that we've got a first draft script.
First draft script completed.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah. But we also have been doing a lot of other work, creating these one pages. Me and my girlfriend, I'll get in trouble if I don't mention her. She's just off to the side and we can hear.
Tisha.
So she's been doing a lot of hard work as well, creating these one pages for us, which basically it's like for our listeners, it's essentially one page, double-sided. On one side, it's got like kind of the poster of the movie, and on the other side, it's got like sort of a little description of what the film's about.
And screenshots.
Screenshots, yeah. So you kind of get the vibe of what's going on.
Yeah.
So we'll be making those, and we're also trying to create an EPK. Do you know what EPK stands for?
Electronic Press Kit.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm always like,
to me, it's like electronic producers kit.
Okay.
Or executive producer's kit.
Okay.
So I didn't even know what it stood for, but that's definitely right. What you said. So, and that means that's actually a lot of work as well, because the zombie Holocaust one, which we used in conjunction with the script to secure $250,000 worth of funding back in 2010, was 90 pages long. 90 pages long. Now, this one is not going to be 90 pages long. It's going to be more like 10, because 90 pages is actually a bit too long.
Wait, what is this thing? You're talking about the electronic press kit?
Yeah.
Why is it 10 pages? I thought it was like, what is an electronic press kit?
You know what the name is. That's it. Well, look, we're not quite...
It's all the stuff. It's all the stuff all put together online. In a place where they can see it in one spot. You send it to them.
It's sort of, to be honest, there's two different kinds. So like the EPK that you might give out to someone after you've made a film is different. It's kind of like just a few pages, with details about the film, ways that you can see and view it, screenshots and stuff, almost closer to those one pages that you have. But like we're talking about an EPK to pitch to people. So the EPK is kind of like, and in fact, it may not actually be called an EPK. That's just what everyone's been calling it with me. But it could just be a PK production kit. I mean, it is delivered electronically, but it's essentially, it has you talk a little bit about the budget. You talk about how you're going to film it. You talk about it from a perspective. It's kind of like framing the movie. Like, imagine the movie. This is what the movie will be. This is how we're going to do those things that make you imagine that movie. And that's kind of describes it all. And these are the key people involved. These are the key creative forces. And this is their vision for the film. And so it basically just has, a sort of director's vision and key creatives plus synopsis, photos, and lots of reference stuff. So where you're like, it's kind of like this film, or imagine this from this film. That's how we want to shoot this, that sort of thing.
Right.
So that is also being very time consuming, and is still not finished. And then we also have, I'm also going to London in 2 days for my uncle's memorial service, mainly. But I may do a bit of extra filming for the documentary while I'm over there. So I've got to think about, like, it's not just me rocking over. I've got to rock over there with some gear, and I've got to figure out how not to do what I did last time, where I got pinged because I was essentially 10 kgs over my 7 kg baggage limit.
But what are you filming? I thought you decided you weren't going to film it.
Well, I've got to film the memorial for my aunt.
Not
because she wants it filmed. So not specifically for the doco, no. But because I've got all my stuff there, I may also, like, it's kind of stupid. It's like, okay, well, I have to bring some gear. I may as well bring enough gear that should anyone want to do an interview or talk about it or do anything, that option is available instead of me going, oh, no, so I didn't bring anything.
Yeah.
So we've got that. And this Imi the Vegan edit that is currently in limbo. Needs to start progressing, but as to does the teaser that we've just promised someone.
Yeah, the teaser for Glimpses, the documentary.
Yep. So the documentary in question needs a little teaser that we've got to send through to someone. So there's that. And basically there's still some things with Older that need finishing off as well, because now that we're selling it, we will have to deliver it. And delivering a film means creating deliverables. And that's actually a whole clusterfuck in itself. Normally what happens when you finish a film is your post-production house gives, you go, okay, I need it in this format. I need it as a cinema, as a DCP, so I can watch it in the cinema. I need these mixes, these stereo mixes. I need it at this frame rate and that frame rate. I need a Blu-ray version, and I need a this and a that, and blah, blah, fucking blah. And they go, cool, sweet. See you next week. We'll do all that for you. That'll be $5,000 or $10,000. And you go, cool, here's $10,000. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you for your help. That's a great weight off my shoulders, not having to worry about any of that. I'll gladly pay you that money. But unfortunately, we don't have any of that money.
We don't have that money. Yeah.
That money does not exist. So we can't hand it off to a post-production house to do that, which means that I have to do it, which is the same thing I did excruciatingly with the zombie film over a long period of time, creating the deliverables for Shoreline. We did save a lot of money we didn't have, but at the expense of my sanity. And maybe several years of my life. So it's maybe not. I mean, it's not a great trade. It's not a great trade for me. Good trade for our producer.
Yeah.
Good trade for them.
Yeah.
So figured all that out. But yeah, so we have to go through that process again, and we're just trying to cross the I's and dot the T's. Credit sequences are always a big problem in films because you always get them wrong, and then things change. Yeah, too. Like people drop out, drop in, or you forget someone here or there, and especially if if the film has been 7 years in the making, there's a lot of people that have dipped in and out of it that you may or may not have listed in your Google Docs credit list sequence.
Yeah, easy to forget, easy to miss somebody.
Very easy to miss somebody. So that's something that needs to be done as well.
If any of the listeners have been involved in Older in some way, we will at some point, I hope, post a list of the credits on the Older the Movie Facebook page, facebook.com/Older the Movie.
or older movie. I can't remember. I think it's older the movie. So go there and hit like and keep an eye out for it, because we'll post a list at some point and get you guys to double check. We'll say, hey, is everybody here? Has everybody seen this? Is everybody on this? Is the spelling correct? Because if it's not, this is how it's going to be.
And if you speak now or forever hold your peace,
mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, it's really unfair because a lot of people may not follow that page.
No, yeah, terrible.
Or this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and then nobody follows the podcast.
So, given all those things, it's not going to be amazing. Yeah, my close personal friend Alex Savage also had a wrestling match this weekend where he was victorious against a normal sized man and a 7-footed giant monster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he did get a severe beating. So at the last show, they smashed a cinder block on him with a sledgehammer. And that was cool. And then this time they smashed a chair over him.
Jesus. Sounds fun.
Repeatedly until the chair broke and was just a metal frame that was being smashed over him.
Sounds fun. I can see why a person would want to do that for fun.
Good matches, though. So if you're a fan, they will probably be available on Fight TV. So you can download the app, Fight TV, which is spelled F-I-T-E. Fight TV, that's free. And they often feature, IPW has a episodic television show, or I think it may be bi-weekly, and a lot of those matches will be on there, probably including that one. So everyone check that out. It's free of charge, if you want to know what my close personal friend Alex Savage has been going through in the pursuit of wrestling greatness.
Mm-hmm. I went and saw a movie today called Anonymous Killers that they're trying to sell. It's a movie that they're trying to sell here at the market, because part of the market is you can host a screening and hope that people will show up, or try and get people to show up, and hopefully you can get some buyers to attend, and they'll watch it and go, okay, all right, I've seen it with an audience, great, let's buy it or whatever. And so
can we talk about why we didn't do that?
I mean, there's not much to tell, really. It was just that it was going to cost an extra like $600 or something US dollars or something like that. It was going to cost quite a bit more. And
so it's basically to
be able to do it as well, you've got to buy the correct accreditation, which costs more. But we did buy that accreditation. I do have that accreditation. And that means we have the option of doing a screening, but you have to pay some big chunk of cash. I can't remember what it was to get a cinema. Like, it's not cheap. I think 600 was like, on the screens around the building. It wasn't like in a cinema. I think it was more than that for a cinema. I can't remember. But anyway, basically we couldn't afford it. And even if we could, the main issue was just like having no idea, knowing nobody and all that. It would be difficult to try and get people to attend.
So that's the problem, is like, even if we'd managed to magic up this money, then it would essentially be, we spent all this money screening to, one or two people.
Me. It's just me in the cinema. It's just me in the cinema with some popcorn and a Coke.
Yeah.
By myself.
So that's why we didn't do it, but, maybe in the future.
Well, I do think that, I mean, like, if we could find the money, I do think it would be worth doing. And the trick, like, next time it'd be easier, because next time it's like, oh, okay, cool. Now I understand a bit better how this works, and I have just a better idea of what's going on and all that type of thing. Plus, I'm meeting more and more people every day as well, so there would be more chance of actually perhaps getting a few people to attend. Plus, I guess, hopefully get some important people to attend somehow via various annoying emails and so on.
Well, also in theory, perhaps by the next time we'll be important people, so other important people will want to come to our things.
Yeah. Well, not if I keep missing my meetings.
Definitely not if you keep missing your meetings.
Well,
not bringing your accreditation.
I've learned my lesson. I've keep my accreditation in my bag now.
Yeah, isn't it like a lanyard that you can just keep on your neck, around your neck?
Yeah, it's a lanyard, and I left it on my desk. You know, when I was packing everything up, because I was like, okay, what have I got? I got my one sheets, and I've got my laptop, and the trailer is loaded on the laptop, so that's good. It's ready to go. Yep, it's there. I've just emailing these guys. I've been doing this thing. I've got this thing, and I've got my business cards. Yep, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, I've got those. Blah blah blah. All right, cool. I think we're ready. Got my keys. Call the Uber. Let's fucking go. You got to be nice and early. You want to be there, 20 minutes beforehand to figure out where I'm going. Then I get there. It takes about 20 minutes to get there in an Uber, and yeah, no accreditation. I stepped out of the Uber, and instantly I was like, fuck, where's my fucking accreditation?
Yeah.
What
about this movie, Anonymous Killers?
Oh, I was just going to say that it was good. So the guy that I was partying with last night that told me all about it, told me that all the tricks. His name is Vincent Van Hinty. Vincent Van Hinty, and he's based here. He's an actor, producer here, and so he told me to go along. I went along. It was good. It was a good film. I liked it. It was like a film about a bunch of killers, various killers, like assassin, like there's like an assassin and like a smuggler and all these different people that are different types of killers find themselves kidnapped, and they all wake up chained to a chair, and they've all and there's this guy kind of hosting them. They're all chained on these individual chairs, and it goes through each of their stories, telling how they started as an innocent kid at one point in the past, and how they developed into these murderous people that they are. And then they themselves have to vote amongst themselves who is going to live and who's going to die, based on these stories, type thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And
and it was good, and there was and all the cast were there. The director was there, the cast were there, all these people were there, and my gosh, these people in Los Angeles. There's a lot of very attractive people in this city. Jesus, just be still my beating off.
There's a lot of upkeep.
Yeah. There's a lot of good-looking people here. It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. And the fashion, like the types of clothes they wear, just kind of like accentuate it all. Like they're sexy people, but they're wearing sexy clothes too. Boy, a lot of good-looking people around here. But I actually don't feel too bad, surprisingly. Even though I haven't been working out for 2 months, I actually don't feel due to my injury. I haven't been working out. I moved house. I didn't join a new gym. I haven't joined a new gym. I'm in LA, where I should be like wanting to feel like as hot as I can, as good looking as I can. I haven't worked out for like 3 months. But it's all right. I feel all right. I don't feel like I look that bad.
Well, that's good to hear. Quick movie review.
Okay.
Terminator 5? No, Terminator 6? Terminator 6.
What do you, geriatric Terminator?
Terminator Dark Fate.
Yeah.
So for anyone that hasn't watched it,
tune out.
Just tune out.
I haven't seen it.
My review.
I'm tuning out.
It is the Terminator 3 that Terminator 3 should have been.
That's good. I mean, that's what I heard.
And in terms of sequels, in terms of all the Terminator sequels, this is the best one since Terminator 2.
Yeah. That's not hard, though.
It isn't that hard. No. It's definitely a very low bar. And, it was good. It wasn't amazing. There was definitely still a few problems, and it's also like, cool, now Artie's old, so he's like playing an old Terminator, and they sort of play around with the idea that he's like been living more of a non-terminating life for like the last 20 years or so. Yeah. He hasn't been terminating anyone. He's just been being a guy, because he's essentially been brought back through time, and he's carried out his mission, or his mission no longer exists because of the events of Terminator.
But he got burned. He got in the lava.
He got burned with a thumbs up. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, he did, but they explained that this is actually
because of a time thing.
Was a different version of it's actually just a different Terminator. It's not that Terminator.
Yeah.
So that's how they explain that.
I wish they had explained it better than that, because that new Terminator is not the same Terminator. He doesn't have the same memories as the other Terminator.
His name's Carl.
His name's Carl. Jesus. And so, but why didn't they? If you can play with time, you can do anything. So what they should have done is some sort of thing where, like, somehow, they sent a new one back, and they do something. I don't know what the answer is, but do something with time where before he, like imagine in Terminator 2, somewhere else nearby, as the old Terminator is burning up, a new Arnie Terminator arrived. Oh no, because he still wouldn't have the right memories.
That's basically what they did.
Yeah.
So that's how they explained it, is that in the timeline of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, there wasn't just two Terminators sent back to ensure or fuck up the past, right? There was more than that. And we only just saw the T-1000 and the T-800, but actually they dropped in these other Terminators, But obviously once the timeline had changed, they don't cease to exist because they're out of their timeline now. So anyway, it was quite cool. It was quite funny. They had some good sequences. The human, not Terminator, but who had been given Terminator like strength and stuff, was super hot and very nice to look at. Not as nice as my girlfriend, who's sitting over the table from me, but it's very nice nonetheless. So that that's all positives for it. The new like the sort of the replacement to the T-1000 is also good. It did suffer a little bit from CGI-itis from here and there. Most of the time they were pretty good with it, but then the odd time, it's just, this is what happens. It's like, if you can strike that balance with using it sparingly and in places where it looks good, it's really good. But then they always feel compelled to, like, we could do anything. And it's like, the reality is they can't do anything. There's many, many things that doesn't look good, CG. Like maybe 80% of things don't look actually that good. Or they don't look real. They look like a fucking video game. And obviously, as soon as you cross that line, and so they were hitting at about 40%. So 20% good, 20%, now you took it too far, mate. Yeah. And that's always a worry, but, that's the world we live in. Do you want to weigh in?
CGI I do hate CGI-itis,
do you want to weigh in on this Martin Scorsese controversy? Have you heard anything about this?
No, who's that? Who's this guy? Martin Scorsese. Yeah, he started out, on Shortland Street, and he went along. He was in the Britney Spears music video.
That's Martin Henderson.
Yeah.
So Martin Scorsese, the famous director of Goodfellas and Taxi Driver and Casino and Mean Streets and The King of Comedy and Bringing Out the Dead and, surely you've seen some of those, Harley. Raging Bull.
What was the first one you said?
Goodfellas.
I feel like I've seen Goodfellas when I was a kid.
But he's basically done some of the greatest films of all time. And he came under fire for essentially saying, like, Marvel films aren't real cinema. Like, that's not really, what I consider real cinema. And everyone's like, oh, you're just old. You fucking don't get it because you're just fucking old now. So you don't get the fact that we love our Marvel movies and, like, fucking Scorsese. What have you ever done for cinema, you piece of shit? was basically the Twitter's reaction. And he then followed up with an essay that sort of was like, look, I'm telling you why these are fucking like these are made by big budget studios with a formula. They are trying to service things like, you know, theater parks and toy lines and all those things. And I'm not saying they can't be good. I'm not saying great artists don't make them, but they themselves are not really artistic expressions of cinema. Where do you fall on this? Well, I mean, view.
Sounds like a pretty dumb thing to say, Martin. Like, Marty. Seems pretty silly if you ask me to be going around saying, I mean, what do you expect, you dumb fuck? What the fuck else are people going to say? Of course they're going to say that. You go out there and you go, it's not real cinema. Why? There's cameras making shit. There's art. There's writing. There's acting. It's real cinema. You old fuck. What the fuck have you ever done for fucking cinema? Good man. Good men. I never heard of it. So
I think we're taking the inflammatory viewpoint today.
No, but of course, the thing about
or should I say troll perspective?
No, I mean, like the other flip side of that, obviously, is that I do also hate people on Twitter, and if you're on Twitter and you're tweeting your opinions, I don't like you because I'm also like, shut up with that. Who gives a fuck? Like, I don't even care. I didn't even know why Martin would have bothered responding. I'd be like, I'll just say what I got to say. Well, I guess maybe if he had a good if he had a good follow-up.
Yeah, he had a good follow-up, and also the issue was that, like, it was this huge long interview, and one quote at the end, like one sentence of a more complete sentence, was what people took out, like news took out and gone, Martin Scorsese, you know, says Marvel movies aren't real cinema. Yeah. You know, and everyone had a shit fit without.
And out come the wolves, and everybody starts fucking circling. I thought you were going to say he got Me Too'd.
Oh, well, what, you mean like they found out that he'd been...
Yeah, or like he'd been accused of something or something.
No, all he was ever accused of, Harley, was having good taste.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I hate
that's enough these days.
It sounds like a lot of things I hate, but I do hate Marvel movies, and I don't watch them. I watched one. I didn't even watch Thor Ragnarok, the Taika Waititi one. That's probably maybe the only one that I might actually like by the sounds of it.
It's probably the most different of all the Marvel. It's the least formulaic, but still of course formulaic of all the Marvel movies. But his sort of point too is that, like, you want to go to a cinema or once upon a time you wanted to go to a cinema to, which is, something I do also agree with, to be sort of moved and made to feel something out of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And Marvel movies will never ever do that because by their nature, by their design, they can't be that as pieces of film. And I 100% agree with them. And
I hate them too, but at the end of the day, I really feel like it was still a dumb statement. I mean, I don't like them either, but obviously people are going to respond negatively to that.
Well, and yes, because
it's such an unprovable statement as well.
Yeah. Well, he also did say, he was like, "This is just my opinion." Like, that's what he literally, like, in his follow-up, he's like, "Look, this is my fucking opinion." So eat a dick. It's basically what he. But I'm with Martin. I don't think they're really. I thought his quote made heaps of sense. It seemed to reiterate to me the problem. He also did go on to say, like, if we all just are conditioned to watch these and consume these, less and less of those kind of daring films will exist, and less people will care about them. And that is also a very good point. That is problem.
It's not true, though. It's not true, because things will always... It all swings and roundabouts, Like,
well,
it's Marvel.
Hope.
It's been Marvel for a while. It's Marvel. But eventually it'll swing the other way.
Well, he did say that. He said maybe in 20 years, who knows how long this thing will go on for. This sort of cash cow will keep being milked. And it's true. Maybe it will, but it has led to a diminishment of big films not being that type of film over the last 15 years for sure. And that is a shame because I want to go out to see big films that are fucking crazy as well, and that are going to take me out of my comfort zone. And Stanley Kubrick, man, come on. The master.
Those are out there. Inception.
Well, they are. Yeah, they are. But, I have to... that's the thing. You look back at some of the biggest films of all time, and now you wonder if they would ever actually be... they'd still be released, but would they have come out in a theatre now? Maybe not. And also, would then, because they're not out of the theatre and they have a lot less potential to make a certain amount of money, would they have been those films? Because it's you can do the $1 million version of this film, which is not this film at all, because we only reserve, safe bet 100 million Marvel movies for where's the oldest of the world going to go, Harley?
Well, they're going direct to VOD. They're going direct to VOD now.
Exactly.
Yeah. You'll see.
Not sure I wanted the answer to that, but yeah.
Yeah.
that is where they're going.
Well, to be fair, I would like to mention that the guy I had a meeting with yesterday, the sales agent I had a meeting with yesterday, seemed genuinely pretty, interested in the film. Did seem to really like it, and he was wondering about a limited cinema release if it would be suitable and if they could get it. So I was like, no. I mean, look, if you're talking about doing a cinema release, and actually getting it in a few cinemas, that'd be cool. That'd be fucking cool. Cinemas in the US. All right. If you reckon. I mean, obviously, who knows? Maybe he's just dangling carrots for me. But that'd be cool.
Maybe he's just unzipping his pants and
dangling his carrot.
Dangling his little carrot out there for you and said if you'll buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a big on that when I went and saw that movie today. One of the director pulled out some big wads of cash from his pocket and paid some people in cash something. I don't know what that money was for, but it was big fucking rolls of big stacks of cash, And I was like, all right. I mean, I don't know what denominations the bills were, but it was a good sized stack of cash there. So if they were hundreds, then there's some money floating about.
Yeah. Well, we'll look forward to hearing about more of your adventures when you get back. Probably maybe when I'm in London for our follow-up podcast. But we've got to wrap it up because I've got another 10 hours of work scheduled ahead of me. So better start thinking about that.
Yeah, well, I've got to start planning my day for tomorrow. My big day. It's already planned, but figure out what I'm doing. Cool. All right. Well, thanks very much for listening. Go along to Facebook, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. Go along to Patreon, patreon.com/Pigville. And support us in those places. Now, I'm just going to play the outro here. Okay, I'm just going to play it. Diddly-loo, diddly-loo. You've been listening to the Guy and Harley podcast, proudly brought to you by Pigville Productions.
Laugh it up, Buzzball.